Hello, welcome back to the desk corner and happy September everybody. This is going into fall or autumn where I live, which I'm very excited about. This is the season when I thrive. Yes, we are going to be getting some spooky additions to the desk corner as we inch closer to Halloween. We're going to be playing around with metallics today, which is going to be very fun. But before that, I just have a couple of exciting things to announce here. First of all, I've had my Patreon for about a month now, so I've been uploading more and more content to it. If you're interested in real-time content, click the link below and it'll take you straight to my Patreon. And second of all, I have started a second channel. This channel is called Alexis's Apparitions and it deals with my spooky side, which can't come out very much here at the desk corner. It's a horror themed channel. I'm going to be talking about horror movies and things like that. If you're into that kind of thing, then subscribe down below. I've actually had this channel for like a month now. I just wasn't sure if I was going to actually keep up with it. So enough about the intro, I really want to start using some pencils now. I'm going to switch to the desk view and explain what we're doing. So you can already tell in the title what we're going to be doing today is playing around with metallic pencils and comparing them a little bit, and then hopefully we can get to doing a fun drawing on black paper with the metallics. So the only set of metallics I have is this set of 9 Derwent Metallic Pencils, and I will name you guys the colors here. We have silver, pewter or pewter, I think it's pewter, I don't know, graphite, copper, bronze, antique gold, rose gold, pink gold, and gold. A very nice variation with that gold being just as yellow as I would want it to be. Some of my other colored pencil sets actually did come with metallics. So I have pencils here from my Polychromos, Prismacolor, Pablos, and even one from the Luminance set. I'm going to swatch them out here for you guys and we can compare them to these metallics from the Derwent set. Okay you guys, so what we have here is a huge variety. I just finished swatching. I thought we would do a little test and see how the light hits it. Now I think I might have messed up a little bit with silver gray in the Luminance set. The Luminance set actually doesn't include any metallic colors and the closest one I could find was this silver gray. Now looking at it, I don't think this one is metallic after all. This is the Derwent Metallic Silver, and these are the other silvers here. We have the Prismacolor Silver, the Pablos Silver, and the Polychromos. You can see the Polychromos and the Pablos are pretty translucent, and the Prismacolor is probably the second most vibrant. It still is not quite as vibrant as the Derwent one. We have quite a few variations of gold with the Polychromos, Pablos, and Prismacolor. I don't think the Polychromos gold is all that good. It's very translucent and you can't really see it very well against the black paper, unfortunately. It did feel a little bit scratchy too, which isn't common for a Polychromos pencil. The Pablos were okay. This is very yellow, almost yellowish green. And then the Prismacolor is very orange. And with the Derwent Metallics, I think the antique gold is a pretty good standard gold color, with the regular gold being good too, slightly more yellow and bright. So there's more pencils you can buy for the Derwent Metallics if you want like a metallic green and blue. I just decided to buy the traditional colors to start with to see if I liked them and how they would compare. And boy, I'm glad I did because it looks like they have the most vibrant of colors. I also love the inclusion of both rose gold and pink gold as well because sometimes rose gold looks too pink and I'm glad to have two variations of that. In the spirit of Halloween and fall time starting, I'm going to be drawing a cat very stylistically on this black paper and I'm going to be using my Derwent Metallics to color the cat in. Now at first I was going to use all my metallic pencils, but now that I think about it, I don't actually enjoy using the Polychromos ones because they feel scratchy and they're kind of translucent. I don't really like the gold colors in these two or the silver in the Pablos set because it's a little too dark for me. that being said, I think that I'm just going to use the Derwent Metallic set for this drawing because it seems to be the best one so far. So yes, let's go ahead and jump straight into the drawing. So as you can see, I'm using my white Polychromos pencil to sketch out the outline of the cat, and I'm just freehanding this. I'm being very loose with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I just wanted this to be a really fun piece. But the reason I used the Polychromos is because the white pencil is very translucent, and so I figured that I'd be able to cover up my lines and fix mistakes if I needed to without too much of an issue. The other white pencils are quite opaque, and they might stick a little bit or be harder to fix mistakes with an eraser. So I recommend using this pencil for sketching on colored paper if you don't have any other use for it. And I kind of just jumped right into coloring. I didn't spend a lot of time on the sketch. I used gold and antique gold for the cat's eye, and I really think that this part came out well. Now, my biggest struggle with this piece was getting the right amount of contrast. I really wasn't able to get a lot of contrast. I was trying to work with the negative space, but I'm not used to working on black paper, so it was a little bit difficult for me. Obviously, this is not the most colorful piece. We're working with a very limited palette here, so I tried to make the most of it and use the colors as much as I could. I used gold and rose gold and pink gold in the ears and the eye, and then the majority of the fur was silver, and I did allow myself to use my white pencil for highlights and sometimes my black pencil as well if I needed to define anything or darken up an area. So I did stick to the metallics for the most part, but I cheated a little bit with that. Now the silver for the fur actually I thought looked really good in contrast to the ears and the eye, but I did struggle with making sure that I still had some shadows in there, because really the only way I would get shadows is by leaving that negative space, and I'm just not used to working this way, so it was a little bit of a struggle for me. However, I did notice that these pencils actually erased better than I thought that they would, so I luckily was able to pick out some shadows with my detail eraser. So here's another area I struggled with. I might have sketched in the nose a little bit weird, so I kind of had to go back and fix that a few times because it just looked strange, and also the silver fur at the top just didn't look right. So you'll see me go in with my detail eraser multiple times and try to fix that area. But besides that, I didn't have too many other problem areas with this piece. Again, it was very fun and just loose, and I wasn't worrying too much about everything being perfect. Would you guys like to see any more Halloween related work from me? I guess this one is not strictly Halloween, but you know, black paper and a funny colored cat just screams Halloween to me. So if you want me to do some more pieces kind of like this, let me know in the comments down below. Also, do you guys think I should go ahead and get the full metallic set or the missing colors? I'm not going to be buying any pencils now, don't worry, but you know, there's always my holiday wish list that I can get to later. So I think I liked using these pencils enough that I would buy more colors from the same set. But as I mentioned before, the Cretacolors also have a metallic line, or I think it's Cretacolor Mega Pencils. So I don't know, I'm a little bit more interested in metallics after having so much fun with them today. Do you guys like to use metallic pencils, or do you have a set of them? And if you do you have any ideas for pieces that look good with metallic pencils? Because I am curious to know what kind of things you like to use your metallic pencils for. Okay, I mentioned I didn't have any other problem areas, but that's a lie. That whole under fur area in the front of the cat underneath its face was just, I don't know what it was. It just wasn't it, but you know, I was just having fun with it and not worrying about it too much. You can see those hints of pink gold that I added in there just to give the fur more interest because it looked a little boring only being silver. At this point, I kind of regretted drawing the cat so far to the right of the paper because I am not very good at freehanding in the sense that I sometimes off-center the sketch, and so if I'm not careful about it, that happens, and that's what happened here, but that's okay. I guess it kind of looks like the cat is looking off into the distance, and I like the profile view. If it was a front view, I might be a little more upset that it was way too far to one side, but you know, since it is a side view, I guess it was fine. My favorite part, of course, is adding the kitty whiskers, which I did with my Polychromos pencil, which actually showed up just fine over the metallics, so I was happy with that. And then I just added in a couple more fur details and signed it. Alright you guys, here is my finished black cat. I think that this was a really fun piece for me to do, and I'm so glad that I used the Derwent Metallics instead of the other metallic pencils for my colored pencil sets, because the Derwent Metallics are just so much smoother and creamier, and they're very soft. So if you're looking for a soft metallic pencil, I definitely recommend these ones. I also recommend that you try out maybe the greens, the purples, the blues, because I just have the traditional colors, so I think those are going to be on my wish list now after creating this piece and having a lot of fun with it. I hope that this piece sparked some Halloween spirit in you, because that's kind of the purpose of it. And I hope that you enjoyed today's video, you guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!